beautiful people. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Anothando Molosi, your girl. Tonight we'll be talking about the importance of having a will in place. But before we get to that, let's get some disclaimers out of the way. Hey king or queen, welcome to my channel. My name is Ano. Before you start watching, I want you to know you are special, you're worthy, you are loved, and you're capable. Just believe in yourself. And also some quick disclaimer, none of my financial videos constitute financial advice. If you're looking for financial advice, please speak to a certified financial advisor. But I hope they help you make better financial decisions. Also, I hope these videos that I'm posting, I hope they will help you make smart moves, create wealth for yourself, the generations after you, and leave a legacy behind. Enjoy the video. Cheers. Now that the disclaimers are out of the way, I want us to talk about the importance of having a will in place. So I've drafted some, topics that I want to talk about today. So I'll just go through them. I just wrote few so that I get to everything by the end of this video. Sometimes when you're on camera, it's a bit overwhelming. You can talk when you're alone or when you're with people and just flow. But when you're on camera, you after that you're like, I forgot to say this, I forgot to say this. So just so that I don't forget anything, because I feel like this is so important. Welcome, grab a seat, and then let's have a conversation. And if you have any other inputs, comments regarding the wills, please feel free to leave that in the comments below. Let's have a chat. Okay, so today I want to say I will talk about what is a will. So I googled some definition. I know what a will is, but sometimes it's so important to just get a definition from Google, from anyone. I googled some definition which I'm gonna read to you guys before we get to the other topics of tonight. The will is also known as a testament, and it's a document in which a person sets out what must happen to their estate when they are gone or when they are dead. So a will is a document that you state to it what you need to happen in case of your death. If you're having family, you're having friends even sometimes, and you're having your children, and you are a working person, someone who has acquired some assets, you've got some houses or a house, even if it's one house, or you've got a car, or you're working and you have some investments in place, I think it's so important that you get a will, because in that document, it's where you'll be saying what needs to go where, what needs to go to which uncle, what needs to go to your babies, and what needs to go to whoever, so that at the end, there's no conflict in your family when you are no longer available to speak for yourself. So number 2, who needs to have a will? For me, like I just said now, any person who, I think the law says anyone from the age of 16 and anyone who's not mentally disturbed. So a person who is sober or in his right mental state, who can make a decision and was not forced by or is not influenced by any mental illness to make that decision on who is getting what. So if you are okay from age of 16, I think that's what the law says. But I would say anyone, when you start working and you know that you have a house or you have a car or something that you would leave behind, and you would like that thing to be dedicated to certain person or certain people, you understand? So you need to have a will in place to speak for you when you cannot speak anymore. So I think also the things that we don't take into consideration, even if you don't have a house, even if you don't have a car, I would say you still need to have a will, as long as you're working and you're working in a company where you have, for instance, some retirement policies and so on, because in the will you have a chance to let them know that they must get a trust for your monies when you're no longer there, and then so that your loved ones can be taken care of. And then my second point, or my third point actually, says, where can one get it? Where can you get this will? We've spoken about what is a will. We've spoken about who needs to have a will. So where can you get it? Where do you go if you want to draft a will? One, you can draft it yourself, but I think I wouldn't really advise that. But I would also advise that you get some knowledge, you educate yourself a bit about wills. You can read or consult even with your lawyers if you have lawyers. I know most of people are paying Legal Wise and all those companies. Just maybe give them a call. I'm sure they would advise on that. I don't know, I haven't tried them. But you can draft it yourself, but just make sure you speak to a professional to make sure that you have a valid will, because you don't want to draft a will and then at the end of the day, when you're no longer available, then the court says, but this is not a valid document. Because I know also that in order for it to be a valid document, it must be signed, it must have two witnesses, and but the professional will know exactly what it needs to be a valid document. And also you'll know what the requirements of the will are. And also there are things that maybe you might think these ones don't need to be in a will, and the professional will give you another perspective of what needs to be in the will, because these people, they work with these things every day. Also, you can get a legal attorney to do that for you, but also you can get the banks do that. I think they're offering it for free. Sometimes they let you pay, I don't know, but it depends on which account you have with which bank. But please just consult with them. And I think financial advisors also, they are allowed to help you with that. But just speak to either your bank, your financial advisor, if you have one. If you don't have one, it's not a train smash. Just walk into the branch and ask them, do you guys do a will, and how much if they are going to charge you. But I know in these days there are a lot of companies that are offering that service for free, that can give you advices around that. So please just look around, search for companies for wills, and you have to compare quotes if you have to. And then the third one, the fourth one is, what is importance of a will? Well, like I've said, I think at the end we've seen these things. We've seen them, and we've heard about them. That at the end, when a person dies, then it becomes a disaster, and it creates unnecessary conflicts. There are people who are coming up and say, I deserve to get so and so from Anu's estate, whatever you may call it. Or there are people who come up and say, okay, I was this person's child, blah 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 blah. It's a lot, and I can imagine it can be exhausting, and it's causing fights. So, and even besides that, I think also if you die without that in place, people that are not even supposed to benefit from your will, they might, because you didn't put that in place before you die. You understand? And then you might end up, and if you have young kids who can't speak for themselves, your money can be taken and given to whoever the guardian is, and they might blow it. We've all watched I Blew It from South Africa. So I think they might do that, and then at the end of the day, what you were planning for or what you were working for while we were still alive, to making sure that your kids are taken care of, it just goes to waste, because they won't even get a chance to get that. By the time maybe they are old, they have nothing, because the people that were left behind to take care of them, they actually didn't. They just used all the money. I mean, we all know, I think having a person that had no financial education, that grew up with nothing and all that sometimes, and then boom, get these big monies in their accounts, I think the common sense, it's just natural that it walks out of the window. Then they just blow it up and then only realize at the end it's actually finished. So I think it's so important, more than it being a death conversation. I know these conversations become so much uncomfortable because people feel like we're talking about death, but it's not death. It's actually being responsible. If you consider yourself a responsible person, then these are the things that you need to take into consideration and do them while you still can, before it's too late. If you can't do it for yourself, just do it for your kids. Do it for the people that you love, that you know might be at risk of not getting anything or getting something, but let it be abused in your absence. So yeah. And then the other point, it's updating a will. What is the importance of updating a will? I think it's so important to update it, because whatever that is not in that document, we don't know what will happen to it. You understand? Anything can happen with it, because you didn't write anything about it in your will. Especially, I think, for the people, if you acquired a new asset in the process, just write down what you'd like to happen to your asset when you pass away. Also, if you perhaps were married and now you're divorced, then I think it's also so important that you update your will, so that you don't get your ex-husband with his new wife, or your ex-wife with his new husband now getting to benefit out of your money, for no reason, if they don't have to. You understand? And then also, I would say, if you have a child, if you have children already, when you have an additional one, I would still say that it's important that you update your will. So those are the three things that I can think of at this moment. And how much it is to draft a will, like I said, so you might get charged, and there are people who are offering those services for free. So just look around, do your research where you can draft a will. Speak to your bank. The banks are doing these things, so probably they might give you the will for free. So yeah, they might draft a will for free. Obviously, they're not gonna just go and draft a will for you without you. You're gonna have a meeting with the banker or whoever that will be helping you, and then you're gonna be telling them, this is what I have, this is what I would like to do with it. Oh my god, how did the fly get in here? The windows are opened, but okay. They're gonna speak with you. You're gonna tell them, this is what I would like to happen, this is the person that I would like to get this, or if this is what I have, this is the percentage I would like to give to so and so, this is the percentage I'd like to give to so and so, etc. You understand? So yeah, it's so important that you draft a will. I hope this conversation was useful to you as well. Like I said, it's more of a responsibility conversation that we need to have, or thing that we need to take into consideration. It's not saying that you're gonna die today or you're gonna die tomorrow, but just think about what will happen in your absence when you're no longer there. Who's going to take care of your kids? How are they going to survive without you? Especially if you're a breadwinner, or you are a mother, or you are a life partner that has a partner that they care for so much. You understand? So thank you so much, guys. If you have any other advices, comments relating to the wills, please let me know, or any other information that you think might be beneficial to all the subscribers of this channel, to people who will watch this video. Please leave it in the comments below, and then we can all learn from each other. Cheers, my people.